I mean, I guess as we were talking about, they already have really high, like, workplace.
Satisfaction?
Yeah. So I guess, I don't know, we can just, like, further that? Make it...
Yeah, I mean, maybe we should start by saying, like, the outcomes of the good satisfaction that they
already
experience.
have.
I don't know, might be an easier way to start.
Yeah, the outcomes. So we can talk about the outcomes of their current satisfaction, and then we can also like talk about what furthering that would do.
Which theories of motivation would increase satisfaction?
Motivation. One other thing I was talking about, maybe, I don't know really if it would work, we'd have to sort of investigate it more, but because I was looking through that chart we had from when we watched Office Space and stuff of like what things go into a job to make you satisfied.
This is true.
Oh yeah, you have that out. And I mean they like already like their coworkers and their boss and the work they're doing. And the pay we can't really do anything about. So I was thinking the one thing we can work with is advancement. So I was thinking potentially like picking out really some of his best workers and some of the ones that have been there for a long time, and maybe ones that everyone really seems to be drawn to, like really charismatic ones, and giving them a contract for some sort of like a promotion, like giving them a higher position, and then in the contract they would have an agreement that like when the company's revenues or whatever get back to a certain point, they'll get a raise.
Wouldn't that be management by exception? Because it'd be like the upper half of, or the upper section of workers would be treated differently. That's a good thing, right?
Well, I mean, you're supposed to treat everyone. I think management by exception is though like seeing when things are going wrong, like seeing deviations from the norm. Or whatever.
I thought he said it could be either way, like the very
picking out the
very
best
bottom or the
people.
very top. Of
Yeah, I guess that's true. So.
Yeah, it could be effective or ineffective.
That's what I was thinking, but I think it's something to look into, like, if that would work. Because the thing, too, is if he finds really charismatic people, the other workers will be drawn to them, which will, like, increase that feeling of, you know, they already like their main boss. So then if there's, like, smaller task leaders within there that they like, too, they're going to be more likely to stay.
And also motivated to reach that position eventually.
Yeah, because if they create more areas of advancement, like, there's more motivation for them. That'll, like, increase their job satisfaction because they know they can go somewhere rather than just having these same things. And like they were talking about too how the like one of the most effective leaders or leaders where the people really like to be with them and affiliated with them. So I think that'll help.
Good.
And then what else? Say along those lines. But and I guess with that I was thinking creating like the goal-oriented leadership, how that really motivates people. So we could get like maybe put the people with promotions, like get more specific goals for like over those months until they recover. I don't know what they would be, but that's a possibility of what we can do with the people that get promotions.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that that works with like the reinforcement theory as well. You set out a specific goal for them, and when they reach that goal, they get a promotion or possibly a slight bonus in their pay, since they're being paid under the market value currently. That could motivate them to do better.
Is that fit another category of contingent reward too for transformational leadership?
Yeah, it's like the same
To the
thing.
point where the leader would give the whoever earns that reward that reward if they reach that goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was thinking too, just in general, like we should put a strong focus on transformational leadership because that was such a strong leadership style.
Yeah.
So,
Alright, should we go into outcomes of good satisfaction in the workplace? Maybe.
place to start, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so what's one of the first ones on?
It's it would be turnover, but if you have high job satisfaction, then there's gonna be low turnover.
And also in the problems you mentioned that there's no turnover, or virtually
Yeah,
no
because
turnover.
they enjoy working there. So I mean, I guess in that regard, they, I mean, they're already more likely to stay just because they do enjoy the like culture and the value of the work, and it is steady work, even though they're uncertain right now.
Yeah, so that's basically all I can go into for turnover.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next one?
OCB,
So,
which is not defined.
It's
stress.
No, it's just.
organizational citizenship behavior. So it's
Oh
like,
yeah, so that's like going
Above and beyond.
above and
Mhm.
beyond what they're required to do.
Got it, too.
versus deviant behavior. Yeah, I think we need to definitely keep a watch on like the deviant behavior, because if the employees aren't really getting a raise and they're working just as hard but they're more stressed about the jobs,
Mm-hmm.
that can become a problem. If they feel like, you know, like, but I mean, I guess that could go the other way too, where they're grateful that they still have a job when a lot of other people are getting laid off.
It's fairly straightforward, I guess.
Mm.
You want to move into the next one?
The next thing would be customer satisfaction. So if they're happy, they're gonna produce better product for whoever they're making it for. So it has a better, so it makes the company look better in itself.
And it's a manufacturing business, so they're making a product. But if it were a service business, it'd matter more. But I mean, it still applies because the product that they're manufacturing could be of a lower quality if they have a low satisfaction.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that one's less pertinent though.
Yeah.
As you said. What's next?
Another one would be performance.
Mm-hmm. Which kind of plays into that
Yeah.
same.
You're gonna perform higher if you're
Mhm.
happy.
Yep. And especially like that's if we do reward the people that are working really hard with promotions, that'll lead into that as well. It'll be, you know, as you're saying, the
Try-
reinforcement.
Right.
I was like, I thought I read
Trying
it.
to reach that goal to get the reward, and I guess that'd be reinforcement theory as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. Next one is absenteeism.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So if they have high job satisfaction, there's gonna be low absenteeism.
I don't think we have to worry about that too much because they do enjoy working there, and I think even with the uncertainty, they're going to be even less likely to be absentee since, you know, like they don't want to lose their job if they're worried about losing their job anyways. So I think that's.
I think one thing we might have to worry about is if all the workers are on one level, then they're probably less likely to, you know, leave for a certain reason. But if there's a few workers who are promoted to a higher level, the other workers at the first level might be discouraged.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking if we definitely have to explore the promotion aspect a lot more and like really do more research about it, like go through a textbook and stuff and see if that would be something that's good or if it will cause more
Yeah.
problems.
And definitely would have to be something to monitor as well. It wouldn't
Mhm.
just be put into place and forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Trying to think what else. Theories
I
are
think
important.
all the outcomes are finished. Customer satisfaction was the other one. So if the
Yeah.
product's produced well, it's basically as close to good customer satisfaction as you can get.
I mean, the problem too we have to consider also is he potentially if he does plan on recovering, it's not going to be immediate and he might have to cut some costs. So I guess we should talk about where he might be able to cut costs where it's not going to really frustrate the employees too much.
And also if they want to keep the amount that he pays all the workers together the same, and he promotes some, he's going to have to pay them more, which means possibly lowering
Well,
the pay of others.
Well, that's why I was talking about giving them a contract, because that does two things. It firstly gives them an obligation to stay until the company starts
Right.
performing higher, and then also it makes it so he doesn't have to give them the raise immediately.
Okay.
You know, it'll be like within a certain number of months, or you know, something along those lines. We can work that out.
Okay. Yeah, because
I wish we had more information about like specific like reasons they enjoyed the culture of the company. Cause like we don't know, like does he bring them lunch? You know, like do they have
Yeah, he seems like
in-service
a
stuff? Like it'd be nice if
charismatic leader in
we had more
himself.
details about that.
all we can really mention for causes of job satisfaction is that if there were a change in one of the causes, such as pay, then it would lead to, like, for example, lower pay would be lower job satisfaction, and then all the outcomes would change. So that's just something we have to keep in mind. Want to move on to something else?
Well, another thing with pay though is that when we're increasing the pay for the promotions, that's only gonna affect the worker for so long till they fall back into that, you know, mode where they want more money again. So pay raise may be like a intermediate kind of solution.
But I mean, that's sort of what we need because, I mean, we need solutions that aren't going to obviously fall apart when the company does come back up. But the problem is for this period between the economy crashing and him, because we're basically trying to tell him how to keep the business going and keep his employees until they recover. Because once they recover, then he can kind of evaluate what's going on then and go back to his more, like what he's more used to doing.
So it's only for this period that we're brought in consulting.
I mean, we obviously can't just be like, forget about the future, but it's, you know, it is a temporary thing as he plans to recover, so.
It's not really from the point of view of himself, the owner, it's just from us giving advice, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, I think, I mean, I guess there's not a lot we can do with it right now, but I think we need to think about, go through our notes and stuff and think about areas where he'll be able to cut costs and it's not going to piss everyone off. I think that's important. Like, I don't know what we can talk about now necessarily, but I think it's something to pay attention to because that's a really big part of it.
Yeah, I think one focus should be not as much as cutting costs, but how to keep his workers in to stay with the company, because one of the big risks that he was taking is his employees going off to different manufacturers and working for them.
Well, that's what I mean though, because the thing, like it says here, how can he retain his skilled workers without going broke? Which makes me assume he will have to cut costs somewhere. So I'm just saying we need to keep that in consideration of like giving him some advice of places he should or shouldn't cut costs, because he's more likely to lose employees if he does it.
Possibly cutting costs on the product in order to keep pay the same or increase it for the workers in order to keep that turnover virtually zero. I mean, where else can that money come from besides increasing profits?
Yeah, that's why I wish we knew more about why they like the culture.